What if the biggest block to your success and abundance isn't an external factor, but an energetic mismatch deep within you? In this episode, I reveal how to identify misalignment and transform it into pure energy, joy, and flow. Yes, welcome to my high-end and frequency business podcast. My name is Lisette Lucas from the Netherlands, and I'm an international trained high-end success medium and a high-end and frequency business coach. Throughout my podcast series, I help ambitious, empathetic coaches who aim for high-end success, fulfillment, and ultimate life and business mastery, absolutely living and thriving from their stardust potential. I'll give you the tips, the tools, and energy shifts you need to shift to the next level of impact, abundance, freedom, and absolute energy joy. So I hope you're ready to shift with me. Let's go. Yes, a very warm welcome to podcast 122, a very important one because we're talking about misalignment, how energetic mismatches sabotage everything in your life and business. And I can share with you in advance, before I start the podcast, the key to success lies in operating within the right alignment and frequency. And this might sound simple, but why do so many people struggle with it? Well, the answer is straightforward. It's because of what I call the misalignment filter, an invisible filter that distorts your alignment. So, what is alignment? Well, in my personal view and experience, living and running your business in alignment means moving from your own truth. And alignment is living in harmony with who you truly are at the deepest, purest level. And it's creating and living from what I call your birthright, your true, authentic self. I remember when I was training in the UK, Manchester, with my mentor, Mavis Patilla, world renowned medium. At a certain point, she was looking at my auric field and the movement of the auric field. I was standing in front of the group to do a demonstration of mediumship. And she said, she gave me an assessment and she said, I love the way the auric field moves. And she said, Lisette, you're stepping into your birthright. And I remember when she said that, I had to let it sink in. I didn't even really understand what she meant at that moment in time because I was in the middle of the process. But those words are so precious to me now. I just did a Dutch podcast about this and it touched me as well because, well, that's what it is. Your birthright is your true, authentic self. So, talking about it and going back to that special memory with my mentor deeply resonates. And maybe that was the turning point for me as well. Because till then, I had been living through filters. And how can you look at it as well? Well, it's a dimension where energy, consciousness, and information that merges into, well, and it blends into a whole cohesive whole. So it's the very essence of all that exists: energy, consciousness, and information. Okay, so this might sound great, but how does this relate to your business? So, how can this help you in practice? Well, that's a great question. You might have been asking that in your head as well. What I always say, misalignment or being out of alignment stems from invisible filters. Filters shaped by BS. Yeah, that word, but also belief systems, patterns, your upbringing, culture, and so much more. So these filters influence your behavior, but often in ways that don't align with your true self. So you can see it as you're acting from a version of you that you've learned to be, but that's not the real you. So this learned version of self that you're, yeah, moving through has absolutely nothing to do with the authentic highest version of self that already exists in that amazing, beautiful, multi-dimensional quantum field of infinite possibilities and unlimited potential. And I can say, and I know this from experience myself, if something isn't flowing in your life or business, it's because of a filter that is blocking it. And most of the time, you're unaware of it because these filters operate at a subconscious level. And you don't have to feel bad about it because we are all human. We all have created those filters to help you survive, to help you keep you safe, to help you protect your heart from pain, to avoid rejection, to avoid the fear of not fitting in, not belonging. So, why am I sharing this with you? Well, because the reason you aren't yet where you want to be, the reason why you aren't yet doing what you want to do, and the reason why you haven't yet achieved or created what you desire most is because of those filters in your subconscious. And yes, I know this from my personal experience, of course, because I've been working through filters so many years. And even now, till today, of course, every time I step into a new level in my life and business, I reach what I call a ceiling. And why is that ceiling there? Because there is a new filter, or it's an old filter, but for me it's new. And then I discover it and then I can transform it. But if you are unaware of your filters, you stay stuck in the same patterns and the same vicious cycles. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. So, do you want to finally reach your next level? And do you want to live in alignment with who you truly are? Well, then it's essential to go deep and learn to work with the energy connected to these filters. And this is how you activate alchemy, transform it, and then dissolve these filters. You can, by doing it yourself, you can even, if you want to and wish to, but you're listening to this podcast. So there is a certain part of your soul, yeah, curious, or you maybe don't even know why, but there's that energetic pull. So maybe you want to become an energy joy alchemist. How does that feel? And I always say, listen to the energy and frequency, not of the mind, but of the soul, and that communicates within 3 seconds after I ask you a question. After that, it's the mind thinking something of it. Yeah, sounds familiar, right? Okay, well, in summary, misalignment or being out of alignment is caused by invisible filters that distort your energy, that distort your decisions, and as well distort your ability to manifest. Well, manifest the things you do want because we always manifest. But when you're manifesting the things you don't want at this moment, and I've been there as well, of course, then there's a misalignment. So these filters are often deeply rooted in belief systems, in patterns, and in fears that you've developed unconsciously like every human being. It's really normal, but not everyone is at a point that they feel they need to change it, or most people aren't even aware of it. So I applaud you and praise yourself for listening to this because this is so important. Because once you identify and learn to transform these filters, you can live and lead in your life and business and beyond that from your true, authentic self. And even this makes me emotional. Every time I say something that deeply resonates, well, that's my voice of my soul. It gives me that humbling feeling and that knowing, frequency of knowing, deep knowing that is true, my truth. Yeah, so feel that for yourself as well. So, from alignment, creation becomes absolutely effortless and energy flows and the magic of energy joy unfolds. And while I was preparing for this podcast, I was doing my makeup and hair, everything in place. I don't know if I've shared it in the English podcast already, but I had my own beauty salon at home and I worked with the brand Maria Galan, really beautiful brand for skincare. And I had a lot of clients. And while I'm doing my hair, my makeup, I still love doing that. I've been a makeup artist as well, worked in Amsterdam, and well, what happened while I was preparing myself for this podcast? I suddenly got a download. Do you know what download I got? I got the download of the word align mentor. Align mentor. I'm a mentor and I help you with alignment. Align mentor. I thought, oh my, this is brilliant. So I immediately searched if the domain names were available. So I have the Dutch version and the European version now. But yeah, that's how it happens. That's like when the alchemy has done its work and still is working, the magic of energy joy unfolds. So I'm going to leave you with two questions that can immediately shift your reality. So questions, intelligent questions are really important. And that's why I'm sharing this, because a question always creates a movement in your energy field and all the layers beyond that. And that will shift your reality. So this is not just a simple question. Something really is shifting. So feel with me and feel what happens within you and around you within those 3 seconds after asking you this question, because that's where the truth is. Okay. And what happens after those 3 seconds? Well, then the mind, that part of you that always has its own opinion and wants you to keep safe and created those filters, is trying to keep you away from moving out of your comfort zone. So always remember that the first feeling, the initial energy and frequency, that's where the magic happens, and that's where the true answer lies for your highest version of self. Okay? So here is the question. What invisible filter is holding you back from fully living and leading from your pure, authentic self? What invisible filter? First feeling. It's a knowing. And if you don't get it immediately, that's okay. Trust that maybe when you're doing your hair or doing the dishes or whatever, walking with the dog, that it just drops in like a download. Okay? Next question. What could become possible if you started transforming this filter today? What could become possible if you started transforming this filter today? Well, I'm super excited to hear your filter insights. Please DM me your aha moments from this episode. And do you feel ready? Do you feel that urge, that pull to permanently remove those limiting filters from your system? And do you want to master this process, not only for yourself, because that's where you start to master it for yourself. That's how I did it. And then you feel like, oh my gosh, this is pure gold. So if you use the gold for yourself, you can also learn to use this for your clients as well and become a true energy joy alchemist. So when this resonates, when this feels good, and when you feel, okay, this is for me, I felt my own energy, I felt the shift, I felt the move, I felt it expanding in the energy field while those questions were asked. DM me then the word, remember my download, the word alignment and mentor combined. It's a blended combination, and that's what it is. We blend with the energies. DM me then the word align mentor. And then I'll show you how I, as your aligned mentor, can support you. And an extra bonus tip, listen to podcast 121 and sign up for the Fix Your Business Energetics Masterclass. And this is a really, really powerful and important masterclass. And it's like the 121 and the 122 podcasts combined, because when you think about it, it all has to do with alignment and misalignments. So how do you fix your business? Go into the energetics and into the alignments. So I'll put the link in the show notes as well at lisettelucas.com/B122, 122. And I can't wait to meet you or see you again. And remember, you can always choose energy joy, the frequency where abundance flows effortlessly. Thanks so much for listening and looking forward to connect. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to my High-End and Frequency Business podcast. My name is Lisette Lucas, and if you want to join my Energy Joy world, please drop me a DM, and really looking forward to connect.